Basically, what I want to do is I'm going to try to do a couple videos like this about answering questions where I'm just walking and whatnot. Question that I get a lot is, how did my kids adapt to school? So my kids are young. We have them in a bilingual private school. For everybody wondering, it is cheaper for both kids in private school than it is for one daycare payment back in Ontario. The first couple of weeks was rough, especially our son. He's 9. He had friends and all that stuff. He found it difficult to adapt to learn Spanish, but he is actually picking up a lot more than he leads on. And our daughter, she has never been to school, so it's her first experience, but she's very shy about speaking Spanish at home to us. But when we're out and about, she actually knows a lot more than we think she knows. And she has replaced a few words here and there with Spanish words at this point. Like she doesn't even say thank you anymore. She says gracias, and so on. So she's picking it up really quickly. And I think this is because my kids are young. Like when I was young, I was born in Canada. Then my dad, he's from Indonesia. So we actually moved to Indonesia when I was about 2 years old, and my middle brother was born there. And then we came back to Canada. So by the time I was about 3, I hadn't spoken very much, my parents said. I started kindergarten. I went to an all French school because my mom is from Quebec. By the time I was 4 years old, um, I was already speaking English, Indonesian, and French. And I think that's the only reason that I can speak all of those languages so easily is because I was so young. And I was kind of just thrown in there learning 3 different languages. So my mom would speak to me in French, my dad Indonesian because his English wasn't that great. Um, I honestly don't even know how my parents communicated, to be totally honest, because my mom was very French and she didn't speak much English at the time either. So yeah, that's how I learned, and I think my kids are kind of getting exposed to the same thing. If you have older kids, it's probably gonna be harder because for us, as my wife and I, we've been trying to learn Spanish for about a year or a little bit more now. And with my French background, it does help with my interpretation, but my speaking is slow. If I forget the words, then I just insert French or an Indonesian word, which obviously is not correct, but it's a little harder for us as adults to learn. Thanks for watching.